What up, what up, what up? Good evening, everybody. Let people get in here for a few minutes and we'll, get rolling per usual. Just gonna run through some stuff tonight. Most of it's in the title, but I'm just gonna run through some charts, talk about some stuff that we have this week, earnings, PPI tomorrow, DWAC with Trump's announcement, and then kind of some charts that we're looking at. We don't really have too much happening for the next few weeks. We just had CPI, we just had FOMC. Something to note that's really crazy is next month we actually have CPI and FOMC on back-to-back days. So that's probably gonna be some of the craziest range candles I've ever seen in a 2-day span, strictly based off binary events like that. So it'll be really interesting to see if these candles contradict each other or go the same direction. But that's not for another month, so we're kind of just letting the charts play out. Obviously, there'll be catalysts that'll pop up here and there, little catalysts, but the bulk of earnings season is done. FOMC is out of the way, CPI is out of the way. So we kind of can just play the charts. Don't really have to worry about too many crazy volatility events coming for the next few weeks. That can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you like to trade. But so to start off with, here's the SPY basic chart from today. SPY's been on a really big tear. We had good CPI last week. We finally tested that 400 level. I knew it wouldn't be easy. I knew we wouldn't. I had a feeling we wouldn't break and hold that 400 for at least a couple tries. So today, dips got soaked in this 395 level. Got soaked again, and then we ultimately did test 400. We broke 400, but then we had a pretty gross rejection all the way back down to 395. Actually made lows, which is never something you want to see. But this 400 level obviously is a huge psychological level as well as a big resistance level. So it's not going to be easy to break, but if there is one event that will has the opportunity to help us break through a level, it is PPI tomorrow. I always like to say that PPI doesn't move the market nearly as much as CPI. Usually they go hand in hand, sometimes they don't. But I think this could be an event that could, a number that could maybe give us some buyers some boost to get us through that 400 level. So overnight we close around 395, 396, and if we open above 400, that'd be huge for bulls. So for those who don't know, tomorrow we have PPI, which is the producer price index. You guys are familiar with CPI, which is consumer price. That's kind of what we're paying. PPI is in the opposite end. It's what producers are paying. So it's obviously important for inflation. It's a gauge. CPI is the number that is used more often, but PPI is also significant. So that'll be one that. So PPI is tomorrow morning. The number releases at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll make sure to be on voice with Willie and Book right for that number. I don't know if they'll be on, but I'll for sure be on maybe at 8:25. Just so I can get on, so we can kind of just talk through our reaction to PPI. See if we get a move. I'm not expecting really more than a $2 to $3 move pre-market off of this number, but you never know. I'm continually surprised by stuff that happens in the market every day, so can't count anything out. So that's the first thing I wanted to go through. We have SPY, tested that 400 level, a little bit of a reject, but we do have an event tomorrow that could lead us back through it. PPI, everyone should know, make sure you know what it is if you have basic understanding. We just had CPI and the number came in at 7.7, which was, below 8. It's a victory that it's down, but 7.7 is still insanely high. But yeah, so hopefully we can go through the week without any dramatic volatility to one side. Range is always good, but so the next thing I want to talk through is DWAC. If you guys know, I've been trading this one. It's been a pretty good moneymaker for me for the past week or so. I was in before this huge candle, and then I scalped this one on Friday. And then today, myself, Book, and Willie were on voice during our time, and I kind of said, fun's moving here. DWAC kind of is lagging. I feel like so for those of you who don't know, Trump postponed his announcement last week. he was waiting for midterms, and now he said that he's making a huge announcement tomorrow, Tuesday, November 15th at I believe 9 p.m. Eastern time. He's going to be in Mar-a-Lago, which is where his house, one of his house, I don't know. He has property there. He's making a huge announcement tomorrow. Not sure what this is going to be. Obviously, I think it's going to be him announcing he's rerunning for president, but you can never put anything past this man. People are saying all different types of things, but this is his stock. Obviously, he owns or is like part of Truth Social. I've never downloaded the app. I don't know if any of you guys have. I've never even thought about downloading the app because I don't really care. I use Twitter. But he runs Truth Social. That's where he posts. So DWAC is the only stock that's really correlated with his name directly. So this is the one that sees moves off of it. So I got in DWAC today. I had a feeling that they would come for it. It had a pop off open. Kind of came back down and was consolidating. I was kind of just waiting. I just knew that Trump was either going to say something or maybe some other big accounts are going to be like, Trump announcement tomorrow, watching DWAC. And that's exactly what happened. So the calls that I were in went 1.45 to 2.4. So 60 to 70% move in maybe 20 minutes. The reason those went was because Trump posted on Truth Social. He said, hopefully tomorrow will turn out to be one of the most important days in the history of our country. You can decipher that and kind of make a prediction on what you think he means by that. But obviously the market took that as Trump's announcing something big. DWAC is the stock. He tweeted that he posted that on Truth Social. Here we go. So DWAC is chilling around 28 level. If you wanted to load commons, your safest bet was to add them after the first flush out. So everyone thought that he was going to announce it the day before midterms at his rally he was doing in Ohio. Didn't announce it. The stock sold off from 29 all the way down to 20. That would have been the perfect risk to reward. I mean, your risk would have been maybe 17.5. That's where it was before the announcement, even like 18. But now it's definitely a little more risky. Could this be a sell the news event? 100%. Or could this send the stock on a crazy rampage? 100%. It's obviously gambling to predict one. It's risky to take calls, but if I see a dip tomorrow, like I said again, if the market kind of forgets about it during the lunch hour or middle of the day, if we see it test down maybe this 25 level, I would definitely be interested in taking some calls overnight as a lotto. I don't mind this level here. You can see it's old resistance here, and then we wicked off of it here. So maybe this 26 level would be an ad that I wouldn't be 100% opposed to. Where we bounced today. Let me pull this chart back up. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to adding some lottos at this 26 level. For if the market forgets about it, I'm sure it will see one more pump out in the afternoon before the event. Or B, if it doesn't, I might just hold some just in case. His announcement is Tuesday night, so the market will not be able to react to it until Wednesday pre-market. So if you're in options, obviously that's fine. But if you're in commons, make sure you can trade. I wouldn't really take commons unless you're on Webull, so you can. But yeah, I have no clue if it's going to be a sell the news event or if it's going to send the stock to 50 plus. I guess we'll have to see. But this kind of stuff does excite me. I'm not into politics, but just catalysts like this, some that are easy, not really easy to trade, but offer opportunity. It's kind of fun too. Whether you like Trump or not, it's just fun to have like a catalyst to look forward to. So this is something that I will be watching tomorrow. I'll on voice today. I alerted calls Friday and those printed huge, and then I on voice did a live alert for this. So if I take calls tomorrow, whether it be a lotto or just like a intraday thing for a one last squeeze out before market closes tomorrow, I'll make sure to alert those. So that's the second thing I wanted to cover. And the next thing I want to cover is just some earnings for the rest of the week. As many of you guys know, last week we had a stacked earnings. Last week was Upstart, Lucid, Affirm, Roblox, TTD, Rivian. Most of those absolutely dumped, but there were some good ones. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Man's called Unity on Friday, and they reported earnings on the Wednesday before that. So and it traded beautifully. So what we're seeing is these companies that are reporting good earnings, they're having pretty solid runs, maybe a day or two after. Book calls them post-earning gap plays. But these are ones to watch. So if there are any good earnings this week, maybe a day or two later, they usually see an extended move. So some big names that I'm watching. Tomorrow morning we have Walmart and Home Depot. Wednesday we have Target and Lowe's pre-market and TJ Maxx. And after close on Wednesday is Nvidia, which is going to be huge. Thursday is Baba. And then that's about it for the week. So yeah, Nvidia, Baba, Walmart. Walmart's huge. Walmart reports tomorrow morning. I think there was a lot of put flow on this name. It's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, this one got sold off the day. Look at the daily. This does look like a chart that has gap down if the earnings bad, and I do see a gap back down to this 128 level. It filled this up. It filled this gap almost all the way back up from its prior earnings drop. So if they do have good earnings, I could see it testing this 145 level, which was the previous gap before, and then as room above to 150 and then back to 160. So this is definitely a name to watch tomorrow morning. I think people will be trading it. I'll make zones for it if it sees some range. Home Depot, I don't really ever trade this name. I think it's like $300 stock. Wow. I made a zone for this one last earnings, and look where the stock rejected today. So I made this zone on Home Depot, I don't even know when. Maybe in August or maybe even earlier than that. Some of these zones work like, that's crazy. So I made this zone 4 or 5 months ago, I think, and look where it rejected today. Well, yeah, some of these zones you can keep, but some of them you want to change, So that one's cool to see. But yeah, Walmart and Home Depot tomorrow morning. Target, I don't really trade Target either, but obviously Target's gonna have a reaction based off Walmart. This one usually, obviously, the last earnings or 2 earnings ago saw a significant drop. So this one does have range, which is what I look forward to. What I look at when earnings plays. I don't like to gamble before. You guys know I like to play the zones afterwards, and we love to see range. When there's range, that usually means that the premiums can be cheap for us, and then we could take advantage of the gap fill back up or down, whether it be up or down. But yeah, I think the biggest one of the week is clearly Nvidia. This one was on life support. I didn't test 100, but tested 108, and it's had a pretty solid bounce. Chips have had a really solid bounce after that. TSM or that Taiwan kind of news faded. But this one's definitely beat down. It's had a really good past month or so. So this one, if it beats, I'm looking for a gap fill up to 178 level. And if it misses, probably back down to this 145 level. We saw AMD was green on their earnings report. So definitely one to watch. And the last one is Baba. Baba's China. China's got its whole different, I won't say rules, but obstacles. Obviously it's a China stock, so you have to deal with China lockdown stuff with COVID, and you have to deal with China stuff regulated by the United States. This one obviously has been beat down a lot too. This chart's kind of gross to me, but if Baba beats 75, 78, 80, so kind of levels are there. Not one that I really like. Obviously, you can see I've traded it when it was up here in this range, but haven't really traded it down here, just because I don't really like. Obviously, if it's China Day, I'll trade it, but other than that, one to obviously watch because it does see movement on earnings. But besides that, hopefully you guys had a good day today. Definitely the play of the day today was Netflix. I don't know if anyone got in Netflix. Top wiki sticky, not the best, but Netflix was on an absolute tear today. Opened around 288, hit 311. Wow, this is a really great trade. Obviously faded with the market down to this, it held 300, closed right below it, but now it's back above 300. So if PPI numbers come in cool, lower than expected, and this holds 300, I don't see how it doesn't go up to new highs tomorrow. This has been an absolute monster. A lot of people, a lot of people are scared of buying long term, and even myself have been scared. It's if you have to find you time the right stocks, and you can make money. Obviously, a month ago Netflix was 200, almost a $200 stock, and now it's 300. That is 50% on a $200 stock in a month. That is crazy for movement. So you kind of can you really just have to pick your stocks. I mean, obviously, if you're investing long term, you're safest in index funds like ETFs like SPY, VTI, VOO, stuff like that. But if you're just kind of doing swings on commons, I know K-Vol or one of the guys in the room absolutely murdered Netflix swing, made about 50 grand on this Netflix swing, just kind of holding from this absolute tear it's been on. So this is one to watch if PPI is cool. I definitely like Netflix to test highs. Then after Netflix breaks through this high of 311, its next stop is this earnings gap fill. So its earnings gap fill is around 330. That's the level that I think it goes to if it breaks through 311 tomorrow. I wouldn't say it goes to 330 in one day, obviously, but that's like the next big resistance. So definitely one that I'm watching tomorrow. If there are any other setups you guys like for tomorrow, downside or upside, and you can comment them below, and can just go through them quick. I like Netflix. I think Book was looking at Rivian, Inside Bar. These guys, I'm not really too familiar with Inside Bars. Like, I know what it is, but I don't really specifically look for them and trade them. But I know Bill and Book talk about them. So Rivian, this one is one that people are watching tomorrow. Let me see if Mans is tweeting anything else out. He's in coin. He traded Dash today. That was a really good one. That one was smooth. What else? Let me see if Book's. Oh yeah, Book posted something in his channel, I think. So let me go through what Book is talking about. Yeah, he said Rivian, notable retest and bounce off volume shelf. Today's consolidation candle had low volume, which I like to see. Okay, so what he's been kind of noting is the low volume. See, we did sell off today at the end of the day, but way lower volume than these. See, this is a huge red day, and volume is significantly lower. So that is definitely something to watch. Let me check the volume on SPY. Yeah, SPY volume. Obviously, this was a huge green day, bigger green day, bigger green day. This red day was a little bit bigger, and we obviously sold off a lot more. These are the red candles. You don't want to see these huge red bars, this huge red bar here, but not a significant amount of sell volume today, which is always a good thing. Netflix, actually green. So Netflix had huge volume today. Not as much as this one, but if Netflix can, even pick up the volume a little more, I think that, like I said, 311 and then 330 is the level that I'm watching on Netflix. But yeah, I think that's about all I have for today. If you guys have any questions, I can. Appreciate that, Josh. Yeah, Book is really good at those volume profiles. He just suggests a book. He's talked about, made videos on them. But yeah, volume profiles is definitely a significant trading tool that can help you guys out. So the cool thing about trading is there's so many different ways. I talk about it like a million different ways to paint the same picture, or kind of just a million different ways to interpret the same image. But we all have the same end goal in mind. We're kind of all. We end up in the same place, but we take different ways to get there, whether it be you're trading zones, key levels, volume profile, you're greeting the tape, level 2, whether you're doing, what else people do, like EMAs, VWAP, MAs, all that stuff. I mean, it's just whatever fits so it's really more important for kind of just to find a system or find a strategy that you like, and really develop, put in the work to master your craft. Because if you bounce around, obviously it's good to have more than one strategy, But if you bounce around and you're like, just say an average VPA trader, you're an average supply and demand trader, you're an average, levels trader, I think that kind of puts you back a little bit. And if you spend a month, 2 months, just strictly trying to master one thing and really get really good at it, then you don't need anything else. If you just stick to your rules, you stick to your system, and you can be profitable every single day. There's different types of traders as well. There's people who swing, people who hold for long gains, people who maybe take a little more size and scalp, or people like me. I don't size and I scalp. So there's always ways for you people to trade, make money. But that's all we got for tonight. I will make sure to be on voice tomorrow, live voice and Discord, with Willie and Book right when the PPI numbers drop. We'll talk through those to see how the market reacts. I want us to keep ripping. I want us to see what happens when we break and hold 400. And then the rest of the day, hopefully the rest of the week is smooth. I don't think we have too much else. We have NVIDIA earnings coming up, Baba coming up, and then Walmart, like I said, is tomorrow. Pre-market. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your night. Watch some basketball or football or whatever you're into. Oh, well, last thing I want to talk about is Fubo. Fubo is the swing that I alerted last week. A little bit of a 3% red day, nothing major. A little bit of a red day today, but Fubo was the swing that I called out, 3.05. On this huge red day, I kind of had a little bit of a higher average, so like right around the 3 level is what my average is. And it tested 3.66, so we got what? I don't know, 20% maybe on commons, 25% in 2 days, which is huge. So Fubo, if it keeps going, I wanted to see it break this 4 level, and then through 4, I think we could see 5 pretty quickly. The World Cup starts, I believe, on the 20th or the 21st. Fubo is, I think, the only streaming platform. Obviously, it's on local channels, I think, too, like Fox or whatever. But I believe Fubo is the only like streaming platform that has a ticker. It's on Paramount and one other one, but I don't think Paramount has a tradable ticker. I could be wrong. Actually, it might, but Fubo is definitely one to keep on watch. You'll see. I want to see big volume come in on this, and then when it squeezes, look at this. You'll see huge volume days. But yeah, all right. So hope you guys have a great night. I'm cheering for the Bucks tonight. They play basketball. Eagles and Commanders. Mans is riding a parlay with the Commanders, so hopefully that one hits for him. But other than that, I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early, for PPI numbers.